Welcome back to the Wise Senior, your trusted place for guidance, wellness, and inner peace after 60. Today, we're diving into a topic that's often whispered about, but rarely discussed with clarity: masturbation and its impact on your body and mind as you age. Is it helpful, harmful, or simply misunderstood? If you've ever had quiet questions but never knew where to turn for answers, this episode is for you. Let's explore the science, break down the myths, and talk openly. Because your sexual health and emotional well-being deserve respect, no matter your age. As we step into our 50s and beyond, the body begins to change in ways that many of us were never fully prepared for. These aren't just cosmetic or surface-level shifts. They affect everything from how we feel emotionally to how we connect with ourselves and with others. For women, one of the most significant biological events is menopause. This natural stage marks the end of a woman's menstrual cycles, usually occurring between ages 45 and 55. But it's not just about periods stopping. Menopause triggers a steep drop in estrogen, a hormone that plays a central role in maintaining vaginal tissue health, mood regulation, bone strength, and even skin elasticity. With this decline, women may experience hot flashes, night sweats, irritability, and most relevant to our topic today, changes in sexual desire and physical comfort during intimacy. Vaginal dryness and a decrease in libido can lead to feelings of frustration or detachment from one's own body. Men, on the other hand, experience what some experts refer to as andropause, or male menopause. While it's more gradual than menopause, the decline in testosterone after age 50 is very real. Testosterone affects much more than sex drive. It supports muscle mass, sleep quality, energy levels, and emotional resilience. As levels dip, many men report feeling less motivated, more fatigued, and sometimes more emotionally flat. Changes in erection strength, response time, and overall libido can follow. But here's the important thing: these changes are normal. They're not signs of weakness or failure. They're simply part of the body's evolution over time. And while these shifts can impact intimacy, relationships, and self-esteem, they do not mean the end of sexual health or sexual expression. In fact, they open the door to a new kind of relationship with yourself, one rooted in understanding, gentleness, and deeper self-awareness. And that's where masturbation enters the picture, not as a taboo, not as something shameful, but as a completely natural and beneficial act that supports well-being after 50. Masturbation, or solo sexual expression, is one of the most normal human behaviors. It doesn't stop being normal as we age. If anything, it becomes even more relevant. After all, our needs don't disappear with age. They shift, they evolve, and our tools for meeting those needs can evolve too. Science supports this. Multiple studies have shown that masturbation helps release endorphins, your brain's natural feel-good chemicals. These endorphins reduce stress, ease anxiety, and help improve overall mood. For many older adults, especially those experiencing changes in relationships, living alone, or going through emotionally challenging transitions, this boost can make a significant difference in mental and emotional health. In addition to mood improvement, masturbation can support better sleep. After orgasm, the body naturally enters a more relaxed state, heart rate slows, muscles unwind, and the nervous system shifts toward rest. This is particularly helpful for those who experience insomnia or nighttime anxiety, which are common after midlife due to hormonal shifts or chronic stress. But the benefits go beyond physical and emotional. Masturbation after 50 can also play a key role in maintaining a sense of autonomy. As we age, it's easy to feel like we're losing control over our bodies, our routines, even our identities. Masturbation offers a private, safe space where individuals can reconnect with their bodies on their own terms. There's no pressure, no expectations, just a quiet, personal way to tune into pleasure, presence, and self-respect. And for many, this sense of self-connection is crucial. Life after 50 can come with profound transitions: retirement, empty nests, health diagnoses, or the loss of a partner. In these moments, being able to return to oneself, to find grounding and calm through simple self-care rituals, including masturbation, can be deeply empowering. In summary, aging may bring hormonal and physical changes that affect intimacy, but it doesn't mean that sexuality, or sexual wellness, is behind you. masturbation remains a safe, normal, and helpful practice. It relieves stress, improves sleep, supports emotional balance, and helps you stay connected to your body in a positive, non-judgmental way. This is not about indulgence, it's about self-understanding, it's about respecting what your body needs and choosing to respond with compassion. Because at any age, and especially after 50, taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's wise. Let's now dive deeper into why masturbation isn't just normal, but incredibly beneficial, especially as we age. While society often downplays its role, science tells a different story, one that supports both physical health and emotional well-being. To begin with, regular masturbation plays a significant role in maintaining healthy blood circulation, particularly in the pelvic region. As we get older, our circulatory system naturally slows down, which can affect how well blood reaches vital organs, including the genitals. This is especially important because good blood flow is essential for maintaining healthy sexual function for both men and women. In men, blood flow supports erectile function by nourishing the tissues in the penis. In women, it keeps the vaginal walls more oxygenated and supple. When blood circulates freely, tissues remain more elastic and resilient, helping reduce issues like dryness, discomfort, or even atrophy that often come with hormonal changes post-menopause or with age-related testosterone decline. Think of it like this: regular arousal and release act like a workout for your reproductive system. These gentle, natural contractions during orgasm stimulate the muscles in the pelvic floor, encourage the release of old fluid, and support tissue maintenance. It's a simple private practice that helps keep things working smoothly. But the benefits of masturbation go far beyond the physical. Let's talk about hormones, because when it comes to mood and emotional health, they're everything. During masturbation and orgasm, your brain releases a cascade of feel-good chemicals. One of the most important is dopamine, the reward neurotransmitter. Dopamine boosts motivation, pleasure, and that post-orgasm sense of satisfaction. For older adults, especially those navigating stress, loneliness, or emotional transition, this boost can provide a powerful mood lift. Another hormone released is oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. While we often associate oxytocin with hugs or social connection, it's also released during sexual arousal and climax, even when you're alone. Oxytocin promotes feelings of trust, connection, and emotional calm. That's one reason masturbation doesn't just feel good physically. It can leave you feeling emotionally grounded too. For individuals who may be living alone, adjusting to a change in relationship dynamics, or managing anxiety, the release of dopamine and oxytocin through self-pleasure can provide a gentle yet meaningful way to improve emotional well-being. It's a tool, and like any tool, when used with intention, it can restore balance, reduce stress, and even help you sleep more soundly. Speaking of sleep, studies have shown that masturbation can support better sleep quality. After orgasm, the body naturally transitions into a more relaxed state. Blood pressure drops, breathing slows, and the nervous system calms. This makes it easier to drift into restful, uninterrupted sleep, something many people over 50 struggle to find. One more often overlooked benefit is how masturbation helps you stay connected to your own body. As we age, our bodies change. They may feel unfamiliar, and that can lead to disconnection or frustration. But regular solo intimacy offers a way to stay in tune, to explore, to understand, and to appreciate your body as it is now, not how it used to be. In this sense, masturbation becomes more than a physical act. It becomes a practice of self-acceptance. It says, my body is still mine. My pleasure still matters. My connection to myself is still strong. And that's a message every older adult deserves to hear and believe. As we grow older, many changes are visible. Gray hair, slower steps, softer voices. But the deeper shifts often happen inside, in the quiet spaces of the heart and mind. Loneliness, anxiety, and even low moods become more common, especially after retirement, the loss of a partner, or a major life transition. What's often not discussed, but deserves our attention, is how self-intimacy, including masturbation, can serve as a gentle yet powerful tool for emotional resilience. Let's be clear, this isn't just about pleasure. It's about connection, to the self, to the present moment. and to one's own emotional landscape. For many older adults, especially those living alone, days can feel long and sometimes empty. The absence of touch, of closeness, of being seen and held, it adds up. Masturbation can offer a quiet but meaningful sense of comfort, reminding us that our bodies still respond, that we're still capable of joy, and that we still matter. Biologically, it makes sense. During self-pleasure, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, hormones, that not only ease stress, but actively improve mood. Dopamine is linked with motivation and pleasure. Oxytocin, sometimes called the cuddle hormone, promotes feelings of connection and calm. These aren't small effects, they're real, physiological shifts that can brighten your mental state, even on the hardest days. Masturbation also encourages a greater sense of control. In a time of life when so much feels uncertain, health changes, adult children, moving away, shifting identity, having a practice that is private, familiar, and affirming can be deeply grounding. It gives you back a sense of agency, of autonomy, of saying this is still my body, this is still my life. For older adults who are no longer sexually active with a partner, whether due to health issues, widowhood, or relationship changes, masturbation can also be a way to maintain a sense of sexual identity. You're not just someone's grandparent or retiree. You're still a person with emotions, desires, and the right to feel connected to yourself. There's also the matter of confidence. When you regularly take time to care for your body in this personal, private way, you naturally become more in tune with your needs. You start listening more closely to how your body feels, where tension lives, and what brings you calm. That awareness can translate into greater emotional balance, improved sleep, and even better communication with loved ones. And let's not forget the impact on self-esteem. When you make space for pleasure, even quietly, privately, you send yourself a message: I deserve this. I am worthy of comfort and care. That kind of self-affirmation, repeated regularly, becomes a powerful antidote to self-doubt and emotional numbness. Of course, none of this replaces the importance of community, of friendship, or of open conversation, but it adds something often overlooked, a quiet ritual of self-soothing and strength, one that's always available, no matter your relationship status, your age, or your history. So if you've ever felt unsure, or even ashamed, about maintaining a self-pleasure routine in your later years, know this: it's not just normal, it's beneficial, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And in a world that sometimes forgets to value aging bodies, reclaiming that connection can be one of the most empowering things you do for yourself. Let's talk about something that's rarely talked about, at least not openly: masturbation. Even saying the word can make some people uncomfortable. And if you're over 50, that discomfort is often multiplied by years, even decades, of silent judgment, cultural taboos, and social conditioning. We're told, directly or indirectly, that sexuality belongs to the young, that desire fades with age, that intimacy, especially self-intimacy, is something we're supposed to outgrow. But that simply isn't true. Sexuality is not a phase, it is not a trend. It doesn't retire when you do. It evolves, just like everything else in our lives. It becomes quieter, deeper, more personal. And in that evolution, masturbation, this very natural act of self-touch, of self-awareness, continues to play an important role. So why is there still so much shame around it? Part of the reason is that older adults are often erased from conversations about pleasure. Turn on a TV commercial or browse online forums, and you'll see messages about performance, beauty, excitement, all targeted at the young. Rarely do we see representations of older adults as sensual, curious, or capable of desire. And when we do, it's often portrayed as comical or strange. This lack of representation reinforces an outdated, and frankly damaging, idea that intimacy, after 50, is either non-existent or inappropriate. But here's the truth: your body still belongs to you. Your right to pleasure, to comfort, to self-connection, it doesn't expire. And masturbation, far from being taboo, is actually a deeply meaningful way to stay connected with yourself as you age. It's self-care, it's body awareness, it's emotional well-being. Still, the stigma runs deep. Some people grew up in religious households that labeled masturbation as sinful. Others absorbed quiet messages from parents, peers, or even media that it was shameful or dirty. And when those beliefs go unexamined, they can linger in our minds, affecting our confidence and creating unnecessary guilt. But science and lived experience tell a different story. Masturbation has no proven negative effects when practiced in a healthy, balanced way. On the contrary, it's associated with improved mood, better sleep, stress relief, and a stronger sense of bodily autonomy. For older adults in particular, it can also support circulation, hormonal balance, and even pelvic floor health. More importantly, it reminds you that you are still whole, still deserving of touch, still allowed to feel pleasure, comfort, and peace, no matter your age. So how do we begin to let go of shame? First, by naming it. By saying, "This is something I was taught to be ashamed of, but I'm learning that it's normal." The moment we name the shame, we loosen its grip. Second, by talking about it. You don't have to share details, but simply acknowledging that you have a relationship with your body and that it matters is powerful. Whether in a conversation with your doctor, a trusted friend, or even just in your journal, giving voice to your experience helps dissolve the silence. Third, by refusing to accept ageist narratives. Every time you reject the idea that intimacy has an age limit, you reclaim a part of yourself that society may have tried to take away. Let's be honest, social media hasn't helped. While it can be a place of information and support, it also spreads myths and shaming messages at lightning speed. Unjudgmental comment or misinformed video can plant seeds of doubt, even in the most confident among us. That's why it's important to filter what you absorb. Seek out voices that empower you, medical professionals, educators, and people in your stage of life who speak with honesty and compassion. Fill your space with knowledge, not fear. And finally, remember this: you are not broken. You are not strange. You are not too old to feel connected to yourself. Masturbation isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's not about shame or performance. It's about reclaiming comfort in your body, finding quiet joy, and choosing, again and again, to treat yourself with care. Let's normalize this conversation, not just for ourselves, but for the generations coming after us. Because silence has never protected anyone, but honesty, that has the power to heal. And the more we speak openly, the more we allow others to do the same. Let's talk about something many people wonder but few ask out loud. Is masturbation safe as we age? The simple answer is yes. For most people, masturbation is a low-risk and natural part of self-care, even well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. But like anything else, it's important to approach it with awareness, mindfulness, and respect for how your body has changed over time. After 50, many of us begin to notice physical shifts. Joints aren't as flexible, skin is thinner, sensation may be different, and health conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, or pelvic discomfort can affect how we move, feel, and respond to stimulation. That's why listening to your body is the golden rule. There's no right way to experience self-touch, only the way that feels safe and supportive for you. For example, if you experience joint stiffness or arthritis, certain positions or repetitive movements might feel uncomfortable. In that case, support your joints with pillows or cushions. Consider using your non-dominant hand if your usual side is fatigued. Go slowly. There's no rush. If you've been diagnosed with heart conditions, like angina or irregular heartbeat, speak to your doctor, especially if you experience shortness of breath, lightheadedness, or chest tightness during arousal. While solo intimacy typically doesn't carry the same cardiovascular demands as partnered intercourse, it's still worth discussing. Your doctor can help you find confidence and clarity, and possibly suggest gentle approaches that match your energy levels. Pelvic discomfort or sensitivity, especially in individuals who've experienced surgeries, prostate issues, or pelvic floor disorders, may call for extra gentleness. Lubrication is key. As we age, natural lubrication may decrease, particularly for women post-menopause or for anyone taking medications that affect hydration. Using a water-based or silicone lubricant can enhance comfort, reduce friction, and support pleasurable touch without irritation. Many people feel unsure about bringing up sexual health during a doctor's visit. But here's the truth. Your doctor wants to support your whole health, and that includes sexual well-being. If something feels different, painful, or confusing, you deserve answers. You might be surprised how common your concern actually is. And now, let's talk about something equally important: communication within relationships. You might wonder, is it okay to masturbate if I have a partner? The answer is absolutely. In fact, many healthy relationships include space for both shared intimacy and solo pleasure. Masturbation in a relationship isn't a betrayal or replacement. It's a personal expression of one's body, desire, and rhythm. For couples facing different libidos, health limitations, or mobility challenges, solo intimacy can be a gentle way to maintain sexual wellness without pressure. In fact, when partners talk openly about self-pleasure, it can lead to greater emotional closeness. Conversations might start with, "What makes you feel connected to your body lately? Are there ways we can support each other's needs, even if they're different right now? Would you be open to exploring new forms of intimacy together?" These discussions don't have to be awkward. They can be gentle, curious, and rooted in love. And more importantly, they can redefine intimacy beyond just intercourse, focusing on touch, trust, laughter, and presence. For many older couples, physical intimacy naturally evolves. That doesn't mean it's gone, it just means it's different. Maybe full-body closeness, sensual massage, or lying together in comfortable silence becomes more meaningful than performance. Masturbation, when shared or discussed with care, can be part of this evolving journey. Also, keep in mind that privacy and personal boundaries matter. Whether you live with a partner, family, or alone, carving out time and space for yourself can help foster emotional safety. It's not about secrecy, it's about dignity. Everyone deserves moments of quiet connection with themselves. Let's summarize. Masturbation is generally safe at any age, especially with proper lubrication and awareness of existing health conditions. Listen to your body. Adapt your routine to match your comfort. Don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. Sexual health is health. In relationships, solo pleasure can strengthen intimacy, manage desired differences, and promote better communication. There's no one-size-fits-all formula. The key is respect for your body, your boundaries, and your needs. As we age, honoring our sensuality is not about chasing youth. It's about embracing the body we have now, with tenderness, curiosity, and a deep sense of trust. Growing older doesn't mean giving up on the parts of ourselves that crave touch, connection, and comfort. In fact, this stage of life is an invitation, a quiet, profound invitation to return to our own bodies with compassion, not criticism. You are not too old for pleasure. You are not past the age of intimacy. These are social myths, not truths. Your body, with all its experiences and changes, still holds the capacity for joy, for comfort, for sensuality. And masturbation, far from being shameful, is one beautiful way to honor that. It's not just about sexual gratification. It's about recognizing yourself as a full, living, feeling person. Taking time to reconnect with your body, even in solitude, is an act of self-respect. It's a reminder that you are still here, still deserving of warmth, still capable of tenderness. For many older adults, self-pleasure can feel like reclaiming something that was quietly lost along the way, perhaps to caregiving, grief, illness, or societal silence. But the truth is, it's never too late to return to your body, not with pressure, not with performance goals, but with gentleness. Some days it may be a way to soothe anxiety, other days a way to fall asleep peacefully. Sometimes it's a path to emotional release. At all times, it is valid. And if you're in a relationship, nurturing your own pleasure doesn't replace connection, it deepens it. It helps you better understand what brings you comfort. It opens up conversations that many couples shy away from. It reminds you that pleasure isn't always about someone else. Sometimes it's simply about you. This is your permission, not from society, not from doctors, not even from this video, but from yourself, to explore, to feel, to care, with dignity, with curiosity, with no apologies. Because you are not broken, you are not a relic, you are not invisible, you are still a whole, vibrant human being. And every part of you, including your sexuality, Your need for comfort, your emotional softness, deserves attention, kindness, and love. If this video offered you insight, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's break the silence. Even a simple comment like 123 lets us know you're with us. Don't forget to subscribe to Life Tips for more empowering content about living well at every age. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep listening to your body. It knows more than you think.